Hello, Beacon Heights students. I'm Mrs. Dale, and this is lesson number 12. I'm here with my twin sister, Miss Annette, and we would like to review the fun Thanksgiving song we did last week, Over the River and Through the Woods. Please join me and sing your very best. White and drifted snow, over the river and through the woods. Oh, how the wind does blow! It stings the toes and bites the nose, as over the ground we go. Over the river and through the woods, trot fast my dapple gray. Spring over the ground like a hunting hunt, for this is Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the woods, now grandmother's face I spy. Hooray for the fun, is the pudding done? Hooray for the pumpkin pie. Very good. Would you like to try that one more time? I thought it would be interesting to tell you a dapple gray is a kind of horse. Let's try that again. Over the river and through the woods, to grandmother's house we go. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh through the white and drifted snow. Over the river and through the woods, oh how the wind does blow. It stings the toes and bites the nose, as over the ground we go. Over the river and through the woods, trot fast my dapple gray. Trot over the ground like a hunting hound, for this is Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the woods, now grandmother's face I spy. Hooray for the fun, is the pudding done? Hooray for the pumpkin pie. I hope that all gets you in the mood for Thanksgiving. For today's lesson, we're going to discuss the life and music of Scott Joplin, an American pianist and composer. Now, usually, birthdays are very carefully recorded, and we know when birthdays are. For instance, you know when your birthday is. The thing about Scott Joplin is no one knows exactly the day of his birthday or the date, but they say it's probably somewhere around 1868. Scott Joplin's father was born into slavery in North Carolina. His mother was a free-born woman from Kentucky. Both his parents were musical. His father played the violin and his mother played the banjo. Joplin had 3 brothers and 2 sisters, all of whom sang and played the guitar. Scott Joplin played the guitar and bugle and began playing the piano when he was 7 years old. When Joplin was 14, he left home and began to move into the world of minstrel shows and dance halls. Everyone loved his music. He traveled to many states, including Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, and Texas. When he was 17, Joplin settled in St. Louis, Missouri, and played piano at a local retail store. This is when a type of music called ragtime was becoming very popular. I will go into the details of ragtime music in just a few minutes. In 1984, Joplin moved to Sedalia, Missouri, and began to compose marches, songs, and waltzes. 15 years later, Joplin met publisher John Stark, who introduced Joplin's music to the public. One afternoon, Stark walked into the Maple Leaf Club of Sedalia and heard Joplin playing the Maple Leaf Rag. Stark liked it so much that he bought it, published it, and made a fortune on just this one piece. Let's take a listen to Joplin's Maple Leaf Rag. Listen for a steady beat in the left hand and a syncopated melody in the right hand. This rag is a march, and if you want to stand up and march, please do. Let's listen now. you feel that steady beat? If you're marching, pick up your knees, pick them up high. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ragtime is very enjoyable. Yes, the right hand is fancier or syncopated, and the left hand keeps that steady beat. I hope this is making you have a happy day, because it's making mine very cheerful. Listen for the dynamics. You'll hear the louds and softs. Easy listening. You can even do your homework to this. You'll probably get it done quicker. Wow. That music's amazing. With the success of this piece, Maple Leaf Rag, Joplin was able to establish himself as a piano teacher and spend time composing. After teaching and composing in St. Louis, Joplin moved to New York City and continued to publish rags. In 1908, Joplin wrote a valuable guide to understanding the basic elements of good ragtime style. This guide was called School of Ragtime. During Joplin's lifetime, he composed 50 piano rags, 2 operas, and a handful of songs, waltzes, and marches. He died on April 1st, 1917, the same day as the United States entered the First World War. At the time of his death, Joplin was working on a ragtime symphony. He was quiet, serious, and modest. He was generous with his time and was willing to help and instruct younger musicians. He had a profound belief in the importance of education. Joplin is viewed as the king of ragtime and was the foremost composer of the genre in the early 20th century. His rags contained an energetic, syncopated style and had a strong influence on the development of American music. Ragtime has influenced many composers, including Claude Debussy, which we talked about last time. Scott Joplin's name is known all over the world as concertgoers continue to enjoy his spirited music. I wanted to tell you a little bit more about what ragtime music is. Ragtime mixed European forms, West Indies, and Spanish influences, Protestant church music, Irish jigs and polkas, and many other styles from around the world. Ragtime is light-hearted, as you've heard, and happy with infectious rhythms and syncopated beats that were very popular in America from 1890 to 1920. Ragtime is basically an African-American piano version of the polka. And remember, a polka is a type of dance. Ragtime influenced jazz, but is different from jazz. Jazz is improvised or just made up on the spot, whereas rags are carefully composed. Joplin insisted that the rags he played be played slowly and carefully, as faithful to the notation as one would be to playing a classical composition. It is never correct to play a rag too fast. Let's take a listen to Joplin's Country Club Rag, which is played by my string quartet, which consists of 2 violins, a viola, and a cello. You can hear the cello, which is me playing, keeps the steady bass beat, and the violins are playing kind of the tricky rhythm or syncopated rhythm. We often play this type of music at weddings and parties because it's so light beat and light-hearted. It's perfect for an afternoon barbecue also. I would like you to listen to another piece by Scott Joplin. This piece is called The Ragtime Dance, and it is performed by 2 students. This is called a duet when 2 people perform together, and I think it's double the fun. Let's take a listen. During World War II, ragtime became popular again, and also in 1973, when the movie The Sting, starring Robert Redford and Paul Newman, came out in movie theaters. Scott Joplin's rag, The Entertainer, was made famous by this movie. We are fortunate to have with you today Miss Annette Horman play The Entertainer from the movie The Sting. And she's going to play it on the piano just as if Scott Joplin would. Thank you for joining me for music today. And as always, take care.